We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, man?
Oh, man. Trying to close this year out, man.
Yeah, we had to do it. Had to do it.
Had to do it. If you probably guessed it, these boys usually show up on a Tuesday and Friday. But, hey, it's been the holiday season, though, man. So we had to make a special little appearance, special date on this one to get you in and out. Yeah. Recapping the year. It's been a crazy year, but we made it this far, though.
Yeah, we did. And what an eventful year it was for the Slash Brothers, for you, Charles Venus, for myself, Ace Kennedy. It's been an incredible and different year.
Let me ask you this. Matter of fact, let's get that music going one time, Jack.
Hey.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
What your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
So,
Not me, cause I throw hands.
so for starters, let me just go ahead and ask you about it right now. The Kyler Murray jersey here.
What's up? Hey,
I don't see you. You don't got the Mitchell Trubisky?
No. This is my quarterback right here, Kyler Murray.
Kyler's your quarterback, huh?
That's right. That's my boy.
So you've been, I can't lie. You've been on the Kyler Murray train for a long time now. Longer than most people I know.
Well, and here's the thing. And you know, obviously he was the quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners, which is definitely the rivals for Texas. But here's the thing. I am a Big 12 person through and through. So when OU is not playing Texas, I have no problems going for them. I'm going for them against Florida. And my thing is this, I don't have any issues with OU. I have issues with some OU fans, especially because I live in Oklahoma City and we don't have a professional football team. So that is as close to a professional football team as they have. And some of them don't know how to act. Now, there are some Sooner fans that I thoroughly get along with. We actually make bets on the Texas OU game. We have Texas OU parties. Like, it's a great conversational starter for people that know how to act. But Kyler Murray is a great dude. Ran into him at Buc-ee's in Temple. It was in Temple, Texas, or Belton, one of the two. It was in Texas. Ran into him, and it was funny because me and Deuce recognized him, and we took a picture with him, hollered at him. Sarah was over there talking to his girl, didn't even know it was his girl. So, and then, you know, some of these people came up to us after we took a picture. I'm like, excuse me, who is that? We was like, that's the starting quarterback for the Sooners. She was like, oh, okay. So it was just, he was a good dude, you know what I'm saying? Really, really good dude. So from that point, you know, as long as he wasn't playing Texas, I wished him well. You know what I'm saying? And
think about that though. Fast forward, he's in. So now you telling them at the spot, hey, who is that? You like, oh, he's a starting quarterback for the Sooners. Not probably thinking, oh, this is going to be the starting quarterback for an NFL team that many years ago, though. So
Exactly.
That's dope.
Well, at the time, he was signed to the Oakland A's. Like he already had a $4 million signing bonus. He was already signed as a professional baseball player. So he was somebody even then. And my thing is that, like I said, the dude is a good dude. I wish him nothing but the best. And yes, I'm truly a fan of him. Watching him do his thing, and just everything, bro. It's just one of them things. Like, I'm always in the right place at the right time. I'm blessed, and yeah, definitely a good dude.
Let me ask you this, man. There you go. Yeah. Y'all make him look. He about 7 feet tall, though, man.
Yeah, but look at Deuce though. Deuce ain't even standing up straight. So Deuce could be. Look at it. You know what I'm saying? You see that he kind of leaning to that side. If he would have stand straight up, he ain't that much taller than Deuce. So he little, but he yoked. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hold on, Charlie. It looked like somebody sold his shirt on, fool. I was pretty impressed.
The white tee sold on the white.
He had a white tee, but in the back of the white tee, it had a little bitty number 1, which was his number in OU. It was maroon, but it was a white tee. It was so dope. I was like, all right, that's dope.
So it was one of them dry fitted, dry fit.
It was dry fit, but it wasn't dry fit. Like, it was a regular cotton shirt, but it was like
it wasn't supposed to fit tight though. But
yeah, it was supposed to. He was cut up. I was like, all right. Neck was big. I was like, all right. Get away from me, young man.
Hey. So listen, man. I'm gonna put you on the spot, because if it was a Friday, I'd ask you, what's the best thing you've seen this week? But it's the recap show here for 2020. I gotta ask you, give me your five things that you would say for 2020, the best 5 things you've seen. And this is, there could be a long list, and we'll get into some of the things and everything like that. But give me off the top 5 things.
Well, first of all, the best thing that I've seen this week is my son finally started his senior year as a basketball player. They had an incredible comeback game today. I actually give him a Flexerol tonight because I know his back is hurting from carrying, and I'm just playing. He wasn't. they had a great team win. Deuce definitely was an incredible facilitator, but no, to see him back on the court again, knowing that that's something he's been trying to do, and they've been interrupted by COVID. So the fact that they physically got back on the floor tonight was a great thing that I've seen. But the 5 best things that I've seen in 2020, the growth of us, as far as like we started a podcast, you completed an album, the growth of us as businessmen, the belief in ourselves, like just how we took a swing at some things that we said we were going to do, and we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, 2020 slowed us down to do that. The only thing that we still have left to complete as a duo is to get our book done. And
that's true.
After that, I think if we can get our book done at least by age 45, then that would be one of those things like, yo, we did everything we set out to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely like some of the best things that I've seen in 2020.
I'm not gonna go as sentimental, because those were some deep ones. I'm not gonna even go that deep, right? I'm gonna say, for me personally, right, and this is probably gonna sound very shallow when I say it.
Hey, this is your question, bro.
Okay, so for me, bro, number 1 on my list is the podcast. Of course. So number 1, and I think that probably because it's been one of those things that we've been wanting to do for a long time, been talking about doing it for a long time. And then oddly enough, I mean, like you said, it took COVID for it to happen, because who knows? This could have been just another one of those things. By the way, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers Facebook and YouTube page. And don't forget that every episode is uploaded and available to Spotify the next day. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to your boys now. So that was number 1. Number 2 for me, bro, gotta be the Bel Air 2 live from 1999. And I'm gonna tell you because you know how much goes into putting albums out. And so for me, it was a big deal only because we were able to, you know, we talked about it in previous episodes, man, of being able to learn from previous releases, right? And so here it is. We had just put out, you know, saying you're slipping away, right? So we put out slipping away, then boom, you know, we coming back out here, and you know, I'm scheduling like, all right, well, we put out yours, see how, yes, sir, yes, sir. The boy out here, listen, that tells me about it. Number 3 is for you. Listen, you looking at number 3 also, by the way. You looking at number 3, by the way. I finally put them rims on Billie Jean. That is number 3 on my list, bro. That is very easy number 3 on my list, man. So this is what's funny. Let me take a step back, 2 steps back, actually, to finish on the one. So for one, all right, we came off of putting out your album, and so this is how I thought about it, right? So we've put out, you know, projects as a crew, right? And I think that everyone was better after the next, and it was better and better and better. And so I think that when we put out the Bel Air 1 a couple of years ago, I knew that it was to make it better was to build on it sonically, right? So this album sounds way different from the first. Well, the same thing we did for your album, right? For your album now, Slipping Away sounds way different from the breakup, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So then on top of it sounding sonically way different from the breakup, it was just an upgrade all around. If you listen to it, you hear the growth in it. And so then it's like, well, now as a team, right, we got to figure out, well, you know, what could we do on the Bel Air 2 that not necessarily makes it better than Slipping Away.
No.
But to level it up, though. But to level it
make
up,
it
though,
better.
right? And to figure out strategies, things that we, you know, learn, because things were moving fast. From the time you think about how much we've learned since we put out your album, from the time that we actually put out the Bel Air 2, lots have happened since then, though, right? And so I think that COVID allowed us to, for my project in particular, is to take a step back to survey the land, do some research on, you know, more about releasing a project. But I think on top of that, it allowed us to build on the musicianship, though, man. So that's why I think that the Bel Air 2 is good, because Slipping Away is good, right? So that was it, man. And then so I told you number 3 for me, very easily, bro, is that I finally put the wheels on Billie Jean. Let me tell you, bro, I've been working on Billie Jean for about 11 years now, right? So Billie Jean is as old for me as Landon is, because I bought Billie Jean when Landon was probably 2-3 months old, right? And so as long as I've been working on it, and I've been doing little things here and there, and it's been a process, though, man. But I've been waiting to finally put the wheels on my girl. So it worked out that I was able to go ahead, put the wheels on my girl, and then use her in the album cover shoot, though, man. So that was dope. Probably aside from that, and these could go in any order, I think that one of the other things was in that 5. I got saw my pops, bro. I haven't seen my pops in a little while, though, man. And it was cool to see him, though, man. It's interesting, though, man, because, you know, I haven't seen my pops in a little while, just because, you know, now I'm at kind of now that, you know, Landon's in 5th grade now, and, you know, we got school and everything, I can only see him during those times, those school breaks and everything like that. And things just haven't always lined up for one reason or another. So I got a chance to see my pops, man, and that was real dope. Let me see here, man. 5 might be. Listen, 5. I'm gonna slide it in there, because your boy turned 40, right? The boys turned 40. And the homie pulled up. The boy said, "Nah, I got you. Can't wait to see your face when you see this." Slid on with the listen, bro. I still ain't worn them. I've taken a picture in them. I don't know if these will ever see the ground, bro. I don't know. But listen, I've taken pictures. Maybe I might just wear them in a video.
Yeah,
just
I
for a
figured
quick
it's
second.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was I thought those just some quick five couple things though, man. But it's been a crazy year though, man. I think that we talked about this a little bit on the last episode before Christmas. Is that even though this year has been full of a bunch of obstacles for some, a bunch of uncertainty, I think that we've kind of found a silver lining in there, and I think that for us, it's still been a very unforgettable year in a very positive way. Not necessarily all negative for us, though, man.
Right. And then, don't get me wrong, there definitely has been negative, but I think with anything, you have to find the silver lining. Otherwise, you can make yourself go crazy. I mean, we saw, 46 win the election, which is another very, very strong positive thing that happened in 2020. And the thing is that 2020 put the leveling, it leveled the playing field for us as independent artists, because we're just trying to find our stride, just like, professional musicians had to do the same. I mean, shows got cut down. So, we were on live platforms doing concerts, different things of that nature. So like you said, we always had to find the silver lining this year. So it's been an incredible year for us professionally.
Let's talk about 2020 though, man. Let's put together this timeline. So December, November 2019, COVID pops up, right? Out in China, they talk about Wuhan. People at the time was talking about it was related to 5G. People were talking about this, that, and the other. But everything was still fairly normal. November of 2019, December, I was still hooping. Everything was regular. January comes around, 2020, boom. They put a travel ban on China, right? So now, I think even still, people didn't take it as serious. Nobody was masking up. A lot of these stay-at-home orders didn't exist in January, right? Everything was, I think that U.S. in general, we looked at that as that's a thing that's happening somewhere else. It was even been called a hoax, you know what I'm saying? Because there wasn't a lot of information about it, right? So January was just fairly normal. But then there was a travel ban. Fast forward, February comes around, right? So we see Ahmaud Arbery killed, jogging through the neighborhood. Whoa, wait a minute. This had actually happened in 2019. The video just surfaced back then. You started to see some people looking like, hey, what's going on? A lot of unrest is starting, right? March comes around. And now everybody's eyes is wide open, because now at this point, it's heavy in Italy. Cases out the wazoo. They just are. I think at that point, Italy and China was like the epicenter of these particular of COVID, right? And then it wasn't until then that 45 makes it official that this was a national emergency for the United States. Ex-Kennedy. We lost a black mama in March, bro.
Yeah.
And it still feels unreal, bro, that Kobe dies, helicopter crash. What?
Yeah. It was one of those ones when that came up, because my sister told me, and I thought it was, how we get those every 3 months, we get those hoax emails like, oh, Chuck Norris done died, or
E40 died.
Yeah. And you have to go check the hoax, the Snoops or whatever, to see that it was a hoax. And then when Kobe one happened, you went to go check, and then it was like, nah, TMZ is reporting it. No, Yahoo's reporting it. CNN is reporting it. So then it was just like, and I remember, because we were at, like, we do 6 church services on Sunday. So we were at the halfway mark to where we had a break. We were at lunch, and that's when we found out. So it was just like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That one still, I mean, like I've, it's like for me, I don't deal with, it's kind of weird, man. I don't think that I quite deal with death and things like that, the way that a lot of people do. But the Kobe one was a big deal. I mean, it was like, I think the Kobe one to me hit harder than Michael Jackson passing, hit harder than Prince passing. I think that it did. It was that March was big with Kobe doing it. But yeah, we're in a national state of emergency, right? Italy, they had a bunch of they had a pact of some sort with China, one road, where basically they had a bunch of people who were migrating from China to Italy to work in their factories to do this, that, and the other. Though, man, you sure, Melvin? You might be right, but I thought that Kobe was in March, bro. I could be wrong on that one. We didn't have the research department do this one, but I thought Kobe was March. So I could be wrong on that. But silver lining comes out of March, though, man. It's when I first see that Swiss Beats and Timberland, they called each other out over a beat battle. They're playing beats that they've actually made that were hits, and it was very impromptu. This was when everybody's first stay-at-home order was in place. And Swiss Beats and Timbo was on the call, and they're saying, listen, I got these hits. What you got? What's happening? And everybody's tuning in, and I'm thinking like, whoa, they really are going song for song for song. And out of that, it's unofficially the first versus battle, though, bro. And that has been a mainstay of 2020, though, bro. And I have to say, it's one of those things that I hope that regardless of what happened is a here to stay kind of thing. And we've had maybe 6, 7 versus battles that we've talked about here as well. The last one with E40 and Too Short. But the first one, March, Timberland, Swiss Beats, they going back and forth playing the bangers. Let me ask you this, since we talking about this, Ace Kennedy, did you have Timbo or Swiss winning that?
Easy. I had Timbo. But okay. I mean, I think I'm a little biased at that, though.
I'm a little biased too.
The Princeton walked in. Hey, what's going on, sir? Your back hurt? Your back ain't hurting? Or your hand bruised? All right, we'll talk about it. But yeah, no, I definitely had Timbo. Winning, but it's a little bit of a bias. But at the same token, not taking anything away from Swiss, I think Swiss is an incredible. He's an incredible producer, and he's got hits, and he's definitely did his thing. And what I love about Swiss is because he didn't change his style. Like when you hear it, you know it's a Swiss beat. Facts. But obviously for me, it's a little bit of a bias because Timberland is one of those people. When I lost all my cool points. That was one of my. Let me hear it. Let me just hear that. That's Timberland. Oh my God, it's Timberland. See, I recovered for one. I recovered off of one because Stone Cold, I did the same thing, but at least I didn't do that in his face. I recovered and was able to talk to Stone Cold, but Timberland, he was like, we were passing each other, like we was walking out, he was walking in, and I was like, oh my God, it's Timberland. So yeah, but listen, yeah, Timbo definitely won it.
Shout out to Melvin in the comments as well. Dog, Melvin, I swear to God, Melvin to me, if I'm not mistaken, Melvin is in Europe. The homie LeRon, who checks in periodically, is in Europe. I don't know if Mel has gotten back to the States just yet. Melvin, I swear to God, he's like a super soldier, bro. I look at him like he's one of the army dudes that you would see in the movies, though, bro. He's like Captain America, bro. Like literally, He's like the black cat. He's like the Falcon, bro. He's like that, bro. Yeah. He do a lot of dope stuff. But listen,
Well, I hope he's legitimately in the army because I swear
no,
everybody.
he's in the army, bro.
Okay.
I think he's in the army. Melvin, keep me honest, bro.
Melvin, hey, bro, are you what branch of the military, bro? I was in the Air Force, and I swear he used to make me so mad, bro. I was in the Air Force, and he'd be like, "Man, you got your little army suit on." Like, bro, I'm in the Air Force, bro. Chill out,
man. Listen, Melvin wore a uniform, bro, and it ain't blue. So I think he in the army.
Our stuff wasn't blue either, unless we was in our blues, bro.
Well, he was. I know about the blues because I remember. I remember coming to see you in them blues, and I remember how some of them, especially Chris Top, used to point out certain people when they was wearing them blues.
Yeah,
listen, bro, them blues expose people.
They do. They do.
But listen here, though. April comes around, Ace Kennedy. And COVID, the United States passes 1 million COVID cases, bro, in the quarter. People have been at home, man. People have been in the house for months, a couple of months, and they couldn't take it. They said, let's go ahead and get on out. Texas, Georgia, Florida. They out here just wilding in these streets. And boom, before you know it, the United States passes everybody. We was, they cut us, we cut off China and we cut off a lot of the travel. And then just like that, when they relax that stay-at-home order, we out here in these streets, and now we over 1 million cases there, bro. I could not believe how fast that happened, even though the United States, that's just what we do. You ain't gonna tell us we can't do nothing, and people gonna do what they do, though, bro. So, but stimulus checks cut, $2 trillion, unprecedented $1 trillion stimulus cut. Everybody getting these checks out here in these streets, and then Teddy Riley and Babyface versus happens, though, bro. Who did you have winning that one? Just, we can go back to check the tapes, but who did you have winning Teddy Riley, Babyface?
I didn't watch that one.
No? Okay, that's the one you missed.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Here, I didn't watch many of the verses. I did a lot of them, but I mean, it's one of
I had Babyface winning. Babyface won, and but listen, if you've gone back, it's not to say that, listen, Teddy Riley was out here playing songs that he had with Mike Jack, bro. And just that alone, you might just give him one. I just thought from a showmanship perspective, I like what Babyface did because he didn't have the interruptions. But I think that what I think that Teddy Riley was trying to do was more along the format of what they're doing now with it, though. So, listen, man, May comes around. George Floyd getting choked out on camera. Everybody's at home watching this man die. 8-some seconds, this dude is on over here, man, getting choked out by the police officer. And we all reacted like, what in the hell is going on? Next day, Minnesota's on fire. Minneapolis, downtown, rioting, looting, everywhere. People are protesting all across Atlanta. Protesting, CNN Center, just getting burnt up. Every city, all of this unrest is going. Ace Kennedy. Is that the highlight, though? The major highlight of this year?
It was a turning point for a lot. It was a turning point because it was one of those things, like you said, with Ahmaud Arbery and some of the others that were coming to light. It was like we were ramping up, and then when that happened on camera, and the fact that those cops weren't charged or anything, like it was such a huge turning point. But it also at that time, that's when the NBA pulled back on their stuff. So it was that's when they decided, hey, we might stop, because this didn't happen in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, well, that's a good point, because fast forward in August, I believe Milwaukee and Kenosha is where the kid Jacob Blake gets shot in front of his kids.
That's right.
That was August.
So that's when the NBA did their stuff. Yeah.
The Bucks said, listen, man, we're not playing this game. The NBA started the bubble in July. Again, unprecedented events. Like they played the NBA in a bubble, which was the first entertainment. I want to say either that or UFC on Fight Island. First live entertainment that we actually had, though, man. And it kind of set the blueprint on what we could see.
Yeah, well, at the time we had hockey. We also had, I know tennis they were doing some stuff. But I understand the sentiments of what you're saying. But that is when the George Floyd thing happened. We also got Dave Chappelle, the 846 special that he did, which was phenomenal. I mean, just everybody, like I said, in the creative space had to do something different. So
listen, man, we had Breonna Taylor shot by police in her sleep. Later on, just a couple of weeks ago, they announced that they are formally not doing any federal charges on the officers. Listen, bro, we had the family, Javier Ambler, come on the Slash Brothers podcast.
Yeah.
Bring to light that this man was basically killed in custody. Austin police, bro. They still riding hard for Javi. They still screaming justice for Javi. They got new representation in Texas in the DA office now, new sheriffs and all that, though, man. This is all this year. This happened to him last year. The video surfaced this year. Unprecedented time, though, bro. And then fast forward, June comes around. This is after, this is the start of the summertime. This is when you see all of this civil unrest. All of these people are angry. People are frustrated. Now you're having conversations with people about things, race, class, creed, politics, things and conversations that you never had with certain people in certain groups. You're having them now. People are more concerned about their brand, marketing, traditional. You see Aunt Your Mama, Uncle Ben, all of those things that just kind of had those old school Dixie racial undertones that people have accepted for years. Now people are being more conscious about their brand. Ace Kennedy, I want to know from you, how do you feel about a lot of these corporations having the need to address their branding and make sure that it aligns with the current climate of politics and race?
I think the biggest one that that shocked me was the Washington Redskins. That's my dad's team. You know what I'm saying? Like he's from DC and he is a diehard Washington fan. So like for Christmas this year, I got him a hoodie and a hat that just said Washington on it. So I'm very interested in seeing what they do. And then I heard the Cleveland Indians also are changing their name as well. So that was the biggest one that shocked me. But I have a question for you though. Are we ever going to stop calling the white tank tops the wife beaters?
No. I've never called them A shirts ever in my life. I think that's their official. I think that's the official. Are they tank top? Because no, because there are tank. So okay, before everybody called them wife beaters, there were tank tops, and then there were A shirts. The A shirts were wife beaters, and the tank tops were the loose ones.
See, I've never heard A shirt before in my life.
Yeah. So if you look on the package of the shirt, they used to be called A shirts because of, I guess, the shape of the shirt. Okay. Like a capital letter. They used to be A shirts. And I think that it wasn't that I don't think I remember calling them wife beaters until maybe high school. We didn't always call them wife beaters.
I mean, what else? I don't remember ever. I mean, like I said, is either a tank top or a wife beater for me. And then of course the G unit wife beaters.
Isn't it something though, right? Think about that though, right? That we can call them wife beaters, and you and I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean when you say, if you say, yeah, homeboy had the wife beater on, right? Yeah. And you and I say that, and we don't mean it in a malicious term, right? I think that the big thing about it is that But is that acceptable though? Right? Like
That's what I'm saying. Like because
I don't know that I would. So that's the thing about it.
There's a lot of things that we've said in the past. Like we used to say gay all the time, but we didn't mean it in a derogatory way. Like when you say something was gay, it didn't mean anything but like that's foul or that's not, like we don't say it anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? That used to be the thing.
I know some people who was gay who would say that's gay, and they didn't mean it like in terms of you.
That's what I'm saying. I know a bunch of gay people, and it's never been an offensive thing, but it's one of those things. Now you have to be very conscious of the things that you say because we don't say that anymore.
I think the problem with that, is that it's not that it's. Here's the thing, because I'm not gonna lie, black folks can listen. It don't take much for black folks to find a hint of something offensive. Case in point, right? All it takes is, I'm talking about like literally, bro. You got a whole bowl of sugar, and somebody comes to put just a little drop of salt in it, and black people says, "No, I taste that salt." Right? The thing that you remember about a couple of years ago, there was the H&M where people were saying, "Nah, man, we done with H&M because they had the little boy with the
was it the jungle or
Monkey in the Jungle, something like that." And the mama was like, "Nah, I signed him on up for that or whatever." And it's just the thing that I think that people like the connotation of monkey, right? That's just one of those things that just rub black people the wrong way. And black people will be quick to tell you about yourself when you say it. At the same time, though, man, it's like you said, when you say, "Oh, that's gay," someone may find that offensive, right? It's almost like I saw that somebody was coming at Cardi B earlier this year because Cardi B described her daughter and said, "Yeah, she don't really." She said, "Culture don't really got my eyes. She kind of got eyes that are like Offset. They're a little chinky." And I knew exactly what she meant by it, right? But then, right? People was like, "Listen, what we doing there?" Someone could find that event. So I think that, but because I think that black folks can find and other minorities can find certain things offensive, right?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, are there some things that then some white people can say that they may say it and be like, "I don't think that I didn't think that was offensive. I didn't mean for it to be offensive," though.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, somebody's going to be offended by anything. Anything can be taken out of context. You know what I'm saying? I think it always depends on. It really does depend on how your meaning behind it. Like you have to be able to explain yourself. And I think that's always the interesting thing is that, looking at things like, man, what did they really mean by that? Like it gets really weird. Here's another one that I know black people.
Oh my God. I know you're not about to listen. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't get easily offended. I don't, right? I do not get easily offended. But I'm not gonna lie. I heard though that this isn't the original image. That this is actually someone had photoshopped the black dad out of this. Now listen.
That's not what I heard at that at all.
As a black dad, bro, I'm offended.
This is no. What I heard was that the dad had to work and they already had this scheduled. And so they took the picture anyway. That's what I heard. But here's the thing. If you have somebody on the board of color, this should have never made it to print.
Who is checking your work, bro? Like, listen, Ace Kennedy, I don't put any music out. Even if I mix it, I'm sending it over you to check my work. Keep me honest with this, right? Be my second eyes on this one. Who's putting this out? Listen, Ace, this is the part that I think that black people would find offensive, is that someone would put this out and not find the offense in it. No one other, the fact that they don't understand how that looked at all. All these other ones got their daddies in it, the white daddies in it. And then here it is, the black folks, like the black guys. Who know? When you put the print out, nobody knows the backstory about that. You didn't add that caveat to the you didn't say, hey, we took this picture and Daryl wasn't around, but he gave us his blessing. No, that didn't come with the print. So it looks like, I understand that could have been very well the case. But I'm saying the offensive part to that is that, are you saying that black dads are absent? Because as a black dad, that had me feeling some kind of way when I first saw it. Like, it's crazy to me though, bro.
Yeah. This one, this was another one too. Hold on a second.
They had the Gucci. You mean they had the Gucci one with the ridiculously expensive shirt that had the black face on it? Listen, bro. Okay, this one right here wasn't. This one wasn't. No, this one. Hell no. You ain't letting that slide either, man. Hell no. Hell to no. I'm not letting that one slide either, though, bro.
That's straight black face. Look at the lips, bro.
It is complete black face. And then this is the thing about it, though, bro. You know how many cartoons they had, how many movies that they had that in black. What? No.
Who do you have on your board, bro? That's like, that's not gonna fly, bro.
Listen, man. Somebody, listen, man. Gucci, you know better, bro. Come on, man. Like, stop it. Stop it with the madness, bro. I don't know. People, listen, I think, though, man, that this year has called for people to question those things. And to be quite honest with you, man, like, I don't have a problem. If somebody told me that something that I said was offensive and I had no malicious intent with what I was saying, and if I just said something because culturally that's what I know to say, culturally this is what we do, and I might just be doing it and not necessarily this shit. I don't mean for it to be malicious, man. I don't mean to offend anybody, but just because you don't mean to, it doesn't mean that you are. So I don't have any problem with you calling out every single thing. Somebody keep me honest, because if I don't think that I have that kind of malice toward anybody. So when I do it, I could very well be doing something with no intention and no idea that someone's been offended. And I do feel like I do care what people think though about certain things anyway, though, man. But I don't have any problem with somebody calling me out on my BS though, bro.
Yeah, my thing is that what I do, like I sing it at Life Church in Shawnee, predominantly white, and we get to have those tough conversations because I'm not scared to have them. And they ask me questions about things that they may not feel comfortable posting about, or they might just want to have understanding for certain things that I might find offensive and stuff like that. And so I love having that type of community to where we can have those conversations and knowing that it's out of love and they're just legitimately asking questions. Right. And so that's, you gotta have people you can talk to and have them conversations for understanding, because what I've learned about some of the people in Shawnee, they grew up in situations where it wasn't a lot of black people, or the ones that they saw, it was what was portrayed on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving them a different side of somebody of color that they've not necessarily seen before. And we can have those conversations and know that we're from the same, we have some of the same backgrounds. We just are different colors. And so I think that's dope.
I got to be honest with you though, bro. So I think that, listen, I think that growing up in Killeen when we did kind of molded us for today, right? For those kind of conversations, because I think that for us, man, I don't remember as a kid, the racial things that happened right around the time that we were younger. Rodney King stood out right off the bat, right? We were there during David Koresh, Waco, and then even still in that Davidian complex, there were black folks, white folks, there was all different races there. So that wasn't a racial thing. We were there when the young guy got drug in Jasper, Texas. We were there for them, right? I believe we were in high school when that happened. We were also in high school when Bill Clinton was the president. And when Bill Clinton was the president, more black people were incarcerated than any other time at a higher rate. They put out laws specifically that were that targeted, young black men, tearing the black family apart. And even then, with Colleen, it felt like we were shielded from a lot of that kind of racial noise, because in the military, it's like, all right, I got to depend on the guy next to me. And so it doesn't matter what he looks like. And that's how, when we grew up, we had friends. Our friendships were that way as well. So it wasn't to me that I even experienced anything racial directly until I moved to Atlanta, which oddly enough is a predominantly black city though, bro. When I first got, and that's the thing that I think that's amazing to me, is that that even out in, I can see that even out in Oklahoma City, I know that Tinker isn't the largest, Air Force base out there, but it's a metropolitan, city and everything like that. But I can still kind of see why, depending on, what areas you stay in, that you just might not, you don't interact like that. So you might not know. So I can see.
Well, the thing is that, like you said, growing up from, first of all, shout out to Brittany. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Growing up in a military household, because my dad was Army, I grew up in Germany for most of it, outside of being in Killeen. And so, like you said, never really saw it. And even when I went to Killeen, I played on the soccer team, only black dude soccer team. You know what I'm saying? So I've always just been around multiple, races and different creeds and everything. So that was never really an issue for me. But like you said, there are some people, even when I got in the military, there were people who joined the military that didn't grow up around a lot of people. And they were like, yo, this is a culture shock for me, because where I'm from, this is what I knew. This is how my family grew up. And so even now, I've had conversations with some people that I work with in the FAA who grew up in those locations where it wasn't like this. And so, that's always my goal, to try to be somebody that people can have those difficult conversations with, things that they've probably always wanted to know and never had that person to talk to. So, yeah.
Listen, man, September comes around.
Yeah.
Presidential debates, right? And this is probably this is when you had all the moments, because right around then, wait a minute. She says that I'm reading the comments here. First racial conversation was in Texas, but I feel very comfortable in Oklahoma City. People are super nice here. And there are a few ignorance of them. You know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that what's crazy to me that I love Oklahoma City. Yeah. And I think that it's always funny, because when I tell people about my experience with going out to Oklahoma City, people are always kind of like, I guess I wouldn't have expected, like, I don't know what to think about Oklahoma City, but I absolutely love Oklahoma. Like as long as you've been in Oklahoma City, I've been visiting Oklahoma City, and everybody has always showed love, wild love out to Oklahoma City. I've never not had a good time. I've never not had anybody show wild love out to Oklahoma City. So I can agree with the homegirl Brittany wrote that I absolutely love me some Oklahoma City. And I think that people, I don't know, man, I guess maybe you just gotta know about it to know about it, bro.
Man, I think all over this world, in places we've never been, people are just people. And obviously, stereotypes and things of that nature, there are truth to some stereotypes in as far as locations and how people respond, this, that, and the other. But I think in every location there are people that are just good people, and no matter where you go, they're going to be bad people. So, but yeah, it's one of them things, man. You got to be careful how you grow up, and especially when you grow up, you have to start making decisions that understand that right is right, wrong is wrong.
I think that, listen, I couldn't have said that better, because I think that for me, I look at that in terms of I've never been one to care about who's right and who's wrong. I've always been more so about what's right and what's wrong. And so I think that the big thing, but even with that, though, I said it before to you, and I'm sure I've said it here before as well, is that I'm not the problem that I think, Ace, is that I'm not one to try to persuade someone of something, especially when it comes to what's right and what's wrong, because we may look at right and wrong, and let's just say, aside from how you were raised, right? Because I was raised a certain way, and there are some things that I still carry from how I was raised, and there are some things that I was like, nah, that don't seem right. How you raise your kids isn't exactly how your parents raised you, right? But I think the big thing about it for me, though, bro, is that I've gotten out of the business of when there's the truth and someone's perspective of the truth. I don't even care to, I can understand your perspective. You can tell me it and I can understand it completely, but I won't try to sway you to my perspective of that, right? It's like, I'm cool with accepting your perspective of the truth. I'll tell you my truth. And it doesn't mean that when people say, oh, there's your side, my side, then there's the truth. No, I think that for me, I'll tell you my truth and you tell me your truth. You don't got to be wrong. I don't got to be right. But I don't care to try to persuade you to come on my side. Like I got off of that. I'm a man. I'm 40, bro. I don't got time for that no more.
Yeah, man. I get that.
Listen, though.
What else popped off, bro?
September comes around. 45. Biden, Jovante, he's officially the Democratic candidate. They go through their spat, but I'm gonna more than that, more than their back and forth bantering. He gives my girl Melania the COVID, though, bro. Gave her the vid, though, man. He out here walking around, no mask on. They saying that his people's out here just violating. And from that, people out the person from his cabinet, they all testing positive, but highlighted by Melania that had me mad. But then I was cool because Mike Pence saved the day. Because Mike Pence and Kamala Harris gets up here, Mike Pence has a fly on his head, bro. And it is out there for a long time. This thing looks like it was here, bro. It was here for the show.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my new Instagram name is the real fly. The real fly on VP Mike Pence. That's my Instagram for those of y'all.
Listen, Ace Kennedy, fast forward. November comes around. Leading up to that, 45 is already putting it on out there that they're going to try to steal the election. They going to try to do this. They going to try to do that. In a historic election, more people turned out to vote than any election ever for both sides. Number one in votes all time, Jovante Biden. Number two is 45 all time. And so I think that said a lot. People were using their voice. It told me that there were a lot of people that wanted to get this man up out of there. But then it also told me that there were a lot of people who stand with 45 and that they share his sentiments, his foundation, his base, that he's feeding all of these things that rub certain people the wrong way. They love it because the second most votes of all time were casted this election for him.
And the fact, like Brittany is saying, this was her first year voting. There was a lot of people that this was their first year voting. And that just shows you how much more work we still have left to do and how people's votes they do matter and people's voices can be heard. And I think it's important. I got to see Deuce speak about voting because, he's not eligible he wasn't eligible to vote, but he will be in the next elections. And so it's one of those things, like, to seeing how he thought about voting and stuff like that. And I'm glad that that's, in my kids, that it's showing how important that stuff is. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, I think that the thing that got me the most is that I think that the interesting thing, though, bro, is that in the year of COVID and in the year that more people stayed at home, right? You had more, the politics had more exposure, right? So like what was I about to say? Them actually trying to impeach him, right? People were around more than what they were previously this year, right? So everybody had their eye on it. When it came to the stimulus checks, people was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? The last time before this election, I remember Bush had a stimulus check years ago when we was like, when I think you and I were in 18, 19, and it was I think that we received the stimulus check of like $200 basically to stimulate the economy. They were like, don't save it, spend it, help stimulate. So people had their eyes on it. People have their eyes more on things like that you never would have paid attention to more. Like, 45 pulling us on out of these different, agreements and everything like that. All of these things that when people just never quite care for politics, it was all in your face and you couldn't avoid it. And so I think that it gave way to a lot of people to find their political views or establish some kind of voice that they wouldn't have had otherwise because they just had more exposure because they have more opportunity now, though, man. So I think that lends a lot to why so many more voters voted out. I mean, Dal, you think about that, though. Georgia was the capital of the South, in terms of the Civil War, and here it is, Georgia is flipping to a blue state. Never. Like I said, I think I said it before. I've always thought that Atlanta felt more blue than what most people would believe since I've been here. But the fact that the state flipped to blue is unprecedented, though, man. And I think that it's because people are more aware, though, bro.
And even at for just a time, Texas looked like it was going to be blue.
Texas looked like it was going to be blue.
And, even in Oklahoma, there were some areas that were blue in the beginning. And obviously when we stayed red, but it was cool to see for the moment, like, oh, man, this could actually go. So it is definitely interesting times, and we still got work to do.
Let me tell you the thing that I find interesting about that, right? I did see that. That is a good point because the previous election, when 45 was elected, Oklahoma, every single county in Oklahoma was red, right? Every single one was red. And even now, they still had overwhelmingly the majority of them. But I believe that Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken, the county surrounding it, or that county of that Oklahoma City, it was a blue one. It was like the record one for the state as well, though, man. But listen, I want to get your final take on this, though, man. So, fast forward, Jovante Biden. This man is 78 years old, Ace. 78 years old. Kamala Harris, first black VP, female, right? We just coming off first black president, consecutive terms, 8 years he's in there. Boom, right? So I'm just sitting here thinking, Ace, this man is 78 years old. If something happened to him, right, and he can't fulfill his duties, Kamala Harris steps up, right? How big is that to you, bro?
It's big, but I'm trying not to think about it from that standpoint. I know a lot of people do think about it like that, but I'm just grateful that he selected her. And like you said, it is always a possibility, but I think it's monumental on so many occasions because, a lot of different ethnicities get to celebrate her being the VP, because she's.
Listen, Brittany Rowe, that's a good question. The president don't have to be so old because Barack Obama was in his 50s when he was actually the president there. They just
seem to elect them.
Listen, I'm going to be honest, and that is a good question. I think that the problem with that, the reason why you've had so many old candidates is I just honestly don't believe that there are any more younger people who are as qualified who I think wouldn't face the kind of opposition that these older ones are facing, right? So like when I look at that and I think of, when the Republicans were originally running against Hillary, right? And so you had all of these ones, Ted Cruz, Ricky Rubio, and all of them had all these things, these negative things to say about Trump. And now Trump gets elected, and now all of those people are very much, like they said, Trumplicans, basically, right? And so it's like, I think that at the end of the day, I think that those other younger ones like Rubio and like Ted Cruz and all those other ones, I just think that they would face so much more opposition that by process of elimination, I think that that's how 45 got selected. And I think for the same way, I think that Bernie Sanders spoke more about some of the things and I think some of the things that he wanted to do spoke more to people who were Democrats. But I think that at the end of the day, I just don't think that Bernie is everybody's cup of tea. And I think that more people wouldn't be able to get behind him. And I think the same way a lot of the Democrats, the Democrats had a lot of young candidates. I just think that the kind of opposition that they would face would be too strong. And I think that it just made sense for them to just fall back on Jovante, though. So,
we had something else that really big that happened in 2022, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join Charlie Venus and Ace Kennedy for all your entertainment needs. Tune in each week as they give their take on all your favorite topics. Don't be clueless. Watch the Slash Brothers podcast. Peace and God bless you.
that was November, right? We're on the timeline. Listen, let me tell you what's funny. Shout out to the homie Rocky checking in. Rocky said, "Hey man," he said, "Get that white ball." He said, "Get that white ball out your beard." I was like, "Nah, bro, there ain't no white ball." There ain't no white ball there, homeboy. Hey, so listen, here we go. December comes around. We here, right? Christmas. They talk about getting these other stimulus checks, 600. 6 says, they were rolling. They almost had an agreement. 45 says, "Now I think y'all should go ahead and get these people 2,000. I don't know if it was really trying to get the folks 2,000, if it was just a little ploy, a little coup or whatever. But then Mitch McConnell comes in and they finally make an agreement. Then McConnell comes back in looking like the Sith Lord, comes in and basically says, "Nah, we ain't doing that." So I think that it's going to be interesting because it looks like there's going to be no stimulus check for the end of the year, though, bro. So it looks like they're going to have to wait till January. I want to see what you think about that.
No. There are checks that are going out. The $600 checks are going out for right now until they can agree, and then they will do the increase. But no, there's checks going out now as early as tonight.
I know that. Listen, You know what I think? Here's what I think is interesting, right? So I think that the interesting part about this, and we talk about elections and the importance of the Georgia elections, right? Because I would imagine, right, that right now the Republicans are the Senate leaders, and so because everybody have conceded their power and their say over to Mitch McConnell, that's what give him the power to make that stop, right? But when Georgia flips to blue, right, that means that the Democrats will have that edge over. So then Mitch McConnell, by default, loses some of that power. So my thing is that I don't think it's a bad thing if they say, you know what, let's hold off on this. Wait until January when Biden's elected and Georgia flips blue, Mitch McConnell loses his, and then you can go ahead and revisit this all over again. But at the end of the day, now Mitch McConnell doesn't have the power to just come in and strike it down, because I think that then that's when Kamala Harris would basically be the last vote or the last one to put that one on over. So it's just a thought, though, man, and it just kind of reiterates the importance of this GA election, which so far it's looking like John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock are winning these by maybe 5 points. And I can tell it's important because 75% of my mail is flyers and advertisement to vote for them, though, man. So it's crazy out there, though, man.
Yeah. Yo, man, when did my boy get knocked out?
Wasn't that October? Or was that November? Early November.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some things that's good. I'm glad you said that one, because also in December, COVID vaccinations came on out and made those official, right? So Moderna and Pfizer has vaccinations. I still am blown away how COVID fairly new, right? Other known diseases have existed. No fast cure or vaccination for the common cold. All these other things here but listen, some highlights though, good things have happened this year. Mandalorian, right? Mando, Baby Yoda.
That's right.
Grogu. That was 2020, right?
And I'm spoiling it. Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. His own Mandalorian. What?
That's right. Yeah. Boba Fett.
Listen, the Lakers wins the bubble ring. The Dodgers haven't won a World Series since Kirk Gibson. And after all of these times that Clayton Kershaw has been in position to get them over the hump year after year after year, and he fall. He's looking like he was turned into the James Harden of baseball. He finally gets him a ring. So maybe James Harden sees hope in that. But I was happy that Clayton Kershaw and that the Dodgers won. And Mookie Betts is my favorite baseball player. He gets traded earlier this year from Boston to the LA Dodgers, and they win it. So that was pretty dope, though, man. I thought that was real fly. What else? Moments, good things that happened in 2020, though, bro.
Musically, there was a lot of releases. We obviously saw. I see Eminem dropped. We had
Megan Thee Stallion,
yep,
the Texas treasure, who should be protected at all times and by all costs. She dropped the album this year.
Yeah, Wayne dropped a lot of stuff this year, which was interesting.
Wayne dropped a lot of music. Wayne dropped
Tank dropped some stuff this year. Hold on. Where'd you go? What happened? What's going on? Why are you just leave the screen like that?
Well, how you just slide the Tank? How do you manage to slide Tank in?
What am I sliding in there? He dropped the EP. What are you talking about?
Tank dropped the EP. Okay.
You're not fixing to sit up here and talk crazy.
I'm not talking crazy about Tank, bro.
Yeah, let's not. I'm glad Mark ain't here to say something about it.
Oh my gosh. Umbrella Academy came back.
Yes, Umbrella Academy. You had also The Boys.
The Boys came back.
Yeah.
Came back. It's not just came back, but came back pretty hard. Tenet dropped. First attempt for the movies business to have a movie come out in theaters. Tenet was actually pretty dope, though, man.
Yeah, Tenet was dope.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, y'all listen.
You opened yourself up for this.
I'm not fixing to talk about my boy like that, bro. He might be on his knees, but I ain't gonna say, hey, he doing grown up things. Y'all better leave Tank alone, for real. Ain't gonna be no Tank love on here. No Tank hate on here.
You open it up though, bro. You open it up. Musically, I think, bro, that one of the things let me ask you this though, bro.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj had her baby this year. So I listen, Charlie loved the kids. But Nicki Minaj was gradually, oh my gosh, I did not want to say that. Megan Thee Stallion shot in the foot. This is how I wanted to set that one on up. Because earlier this year, okay, let me talk about this Nicki Minaj. I got a question for you before we get on to that. Nicki Minaj had her baby, right? And she seemed to not just be falling off musically, but falling out of the favor to the masses. And when I say the masses, I mean general pop culture, right? It seems like she just haven't had the song, right? The song that you typically would see. Meanwhile, Cardi, she has WAP. She's Woman of the Year, apparently, according to Times Magazine, right? And then you see Megan Thee Stallion, the Texas treasure, is hitting it out the park. She's on there. She is the Billboard darling. And then Mulatto, you probably, I know you don't know who Mulatto is. Okay, listen, let me tell you this real quick, backstory. So Mulatto, she was on the Jermaine Dupri, rap show, like with the kids rappers or whatever.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She's popping. She actually put out some music in Atlanta. She's the only solo rapper or solo rap female artist from Atlanta to actually have a platinum song from Atlanta, right? Not the Brat ain't from Atlanta, right? And even Crime Mob, all them, they were a group and everything like that. Female artist, she's the only one to have a platinum record from Atlanta as a solo artist, though. So she's out, right? And so I'm just wondering, though, bro, is this like the start of where Nicki Minaj just remains relevant, but not the hottest? Or do you think that as a female, because is she going to get to where she's like kind of like Trina, where she puts out music and you're like, oh, okay. Or do you think she still could be the Nicki Minaj that we've known?
I think she'll be okay. I just think that now that she's had the baby, now that she's been married, I definitely think that she just needs to put out. Like, I think that if her, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think if her, Megan, and Cardi put out a song together, and all the verses is hot, I think it would be a big thing for Nicki. Like, but you know what I'm saying? I think Nicki just has to come with something. The problem is Nicki's features are always on point. I think the people are waiting for a Nicki project that's dope again.
I think that I agree. And listen, I don't necessarily need, I don't think that Nicki even needs a big project, right? Because WAP was just a song, one song for 2020. That's all you got from Cardi was just WAP. And I just think that, and I don't remember any other Cardi features or nothing. One song, one video, it was dope, and that was enough. And that got her all the accolades and everything. Like, I just figured that, bro. I'm concerned about Nicki's team, the people who's around her, because at the end of the day, right, rappers aren't just sitting in every producer's studio saying, let me hear your beats, let me hear your beat. Like, somewhere there's the selection process for the song and the song ideas and all that other stuff, though, bro. That's the part that I think that's different. It just feels like, the people who's around Cardi just got a better ear. And I think that with the one thing I can respect about Megan is that she typically works with the same producers, right? She works with pretty much one guy who pretty much has done the majority of her stuff. I don't think that Nicki has that one guy that I'm aware of, though, man, that can put out bangers, right? So I think that she got to fight. She's lost her way, though, bro, and I think that she can find it back. I still think that she's the GOAT female MC, but I just think that I don't know, bro. She just got to have that song. I'm hoping that she does, though, man.
Yeah, man. Well, we covered a lot. Obviously, we weren't gonna get to everything.
And let me answer one thing.
Yeah. To
answer Brittany's question about
Mulatto,
I don't think she has to, but I think that's kind of why she says she calls herself Big Lotto, right? Because me personally, it doesn't. I think that it would be dope if she just went by Big Lotto, because to me, it's saying when I came in the game, I was mulatto and I'm on another level now. So the way I would say, yeah, if she was just Big Lotto, which I love that she calls herself Big Lotto, I would be cool with that. But I don't think that she necessarily has to change her name. I think that, like we talked about it earlier, people are going to find something, to say about anything. And I think that some people will find it offensive, the name mulatto. I've already heard some rumblings about that, but it's not that big of a deal to me, though, man. So, but listen, before we get on out of here, we got to mention that we lost a number of people, specifically, some noteworthy people, though, man. So we mentioned that we lost the Black Mamba, though, man. So we also lost Chad Boseman, though, man. That was a big deal to lose the Black Panther, man. We lost John Lewis. John Lewis, there's a really good documentary about him on Netflix. That shows a young him. We lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We lost Sean Connery. We lost Little Richard. We lost Alex Trebek from his fight from cancer. We lost Naya Riviera from Glee. We lost Regis Philbin. We lost Bill Withers. We lost Eddie Van Halen. We lost David Stern from the NBA. We lost Kenny Rogers, Joseph Lowry from the Civil Rights Movement. We've lost a lot of high-profile people. But listen, we made it this far, though, but we lost. Listen. Now, who don't you got pictures with? We lost Debo. Man, listen, bro. Listen, man. I'm trying to make sure. I'm sure we missing somebody.
Yeah, it was somebody recently. We lost my boy John Huber. Luke Harper.
Yeah. John Huber. Yeah, we lost. Listen, if you're a hard rap fan, if you are a battle rap fan, you would also know that we also lost one of the first rap people associated with rap was Fred the Godson. Man, Fred the Godson had his wife said he had already had some of the pre-existing conditions, some health issues and everything like that. So when he also had COVID, he was one of those where those pre-existing conditions just kind of got the best of him when he had got COVID, though, man. So but if you're a battle rap fan, he's around the battle rap community real heavy. Put out a Gangsta Grill mixtape, though. If you into rap like that, then Fred the Godson, though.
Was like Mo 3.
We lost Mo 3. That was very unfortunate.
And that was about that King
Von this year, man. It's that. Listen. We lost a lot of rappers at an alarming rate this year, man. Like it just
was it Pop Smoke this year?
Pop Smoke was I think Pop Smoke was early this year, bro. You know the bad part about it though, Ace. I saw that Fabulous said that being a rapper is the most dangerous job in America right now, though, man. And I was just like, bro, listen. It's unfortunate because all these dudes is young. All of these dudes were young. So listen, man. Yeah. Let's get on up out of here. Listen, we're gonna be back at the usual time on next Tuesday, 7:00. Friday, 7:00. That's EST, by the way. And so we back at it. And like I said, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers Facebook and YouTube page. Every episode is uploaded to Spotify and anywhere you listen to podcasts. So check us out on the go. Ace Kennedy.
And from our family to your family, y'all, please be safe during this time with your family. For New Year's, please be safe.
You doing anything for New Year's?
Yeah, I'm staying at the house. I was gonna do a concert, but my wife told me no, so I can't do a concert.
It's looking real living roomish to me right now, though, man. Maybe bedroomish also for me, though, man. So I'm gonna put my J's on. I know that at midnight I'm gonna be wearing my J's. Get us on, man. Let's hit that music one more time, there, bruh. Melvin, shout out to the Super Soldier.
Love to you.
Okay.
I'll lay you down on rose petals, light up all the candles, tell you that I love you each day. And one of these days, I'll give you the world, buy everything you ever wanted, ring you ever wanted. Tonight, check this out. One of these days I'ma lay you down to some Luther and do some things that I know your body ain't used to. Put on a fly suit with patent leather shoes with the matching cufflinks. That's how a grown man do. Yeah, I hit a button and then drop it at the top back. You see it, you want it, you own it, you cop that. I'm trying to impress you when I'm dressing to the nines. I'm trying to show you that I'm upper echelon. When we get home, we can sip your favorite wine. And with some time, I'll try to make you all mine. Unsip your dress when I walk up from behind. I know you like it when I nibble on your spine. Nigga, you moist and blush for one touch. And I do that thing that you be loving so much. Yes, it's you and I, so I'll never leave you lonely. But tonight I'm big home, be the king to put it on.
I lay you down, rose petals, light up all the candles until I love you each day. One of these days, I'll give you the world, buy anything you ever wanted, the ring you ever wanted, until the world. But tonight, I just want you to get up.